all-time forever books, which I've read many, many times and have given away I don't know how many times, is Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. The author is Robert Pirsig. It came out, I think, in about 1975. It was one of the top 10 books of the 70s. I first, I don't know how I discovered it, but somehow I did. I picked it up and I read it. And I thought, this is a wonderful fiction book. Interesting concepts. I love the characters. I love it's basically philosophy, a combination of Western and Eastern philosophy. And that fits into my background anyway. And the story pulled me along. Subsequently, before I think I read it again, I found out it was nonfiction. And that, in certain ways, changed and further influenced me to read the book again and to reflect even more seriously on what it said. It is a book I've read probably 10, 12 times. I have quoted it many times. I have used concepts and examples from it in every course I've ever taught. And I think it's certainly one of the most significant, influential, seminal books in my life. So the quote I take from it is a very simple one. It's about the process of becoming something better, of learning something more. He used the analogy of climbing a mountain, and you know that there's an effort in that. Well, let me read this to you. Mountains should be climbed with as little effort as possible and without desire. The reality of your own nature should determine the speed. If you become restless, speed up. If you become winded, slow down. You climb the mountain in an equilibrium between restlessness and exhaustion. Then, when you're no longer thinking ahead, each footstep isn't just a means to an end, but a unique event in itself. This leaf has jagged edges. This rock looks loose. From this place, the snow is less visible, even though it's closer. These are the things you should notice anyway. To live only for some future goal is shallow. It's the sides of the mountain which sustain life, not the top. Here's where things grow. But later on, but of course, without the top, you can't have any sides. It's a top that defines the sides. So on we go. We have a long way, no hurry, just one step after the next. But that, to my mind, is taking away the insane drive, non-thinking drive that people have to achieve a goal or to get somewhere. There's a quote out of the Bible that I used many years ago and learned about. And it's a phrase that if you're confronted by problems or whatever, is the phrase, "This too shall pass," which means to just relax. This won't last forever. But how bad it is, you can kind of put your mind in neutral and just go through it. And for many things, I use that a lot. I'd confront a situation I didn't like, and I'd say, "Well, this too shall pass," which for me put my mind into neutral, and I just kind of floated along. So now I choose not to say "this too shall pass." My life is short anyway. So rather than say "this too shall," I say I want to be open to what's happening. I want to experience the pain, the suffering, whatever, because I want to have my brain open and incredibly aware of what's going on. I guess in some ways it's reflected in my choice to go out in rainstorms, to walk in snowstorms, to love the wind in my face, to love the spray of the ocean on my face when I'm either down by the sea or when I was taking the ferry boat to Prince Edward Island where my first wife's in-laws lived. I would always be at the front, the prow of the boat, with the wind and the spray and in some cases the rain in my face. Yes, I try and dress appropriately, but the point is I like to be out on the edge, aware engaged in the world that's happening. In many ways, I refuse to wear the headphones and listen to my iPhone, or even to read books now when I take the bus. I really want to give myself the opportunity to be engaged in the reality around me, rather than shutting that reality out either by listening to music or reading a book. Just a suggestion.